Dave O'Brien. I'm joined by my colleague, Tommy Lamont, and we're from the security and risk team at Thirdera. And this is a demo as part of a series of release notes for the November 2022 releases for the security operations from the ServiceNow store. Today, we're going to talk about managing exceptions from application vulnerabilities, as well as configuration compliance issues, and doing that via the GRC module. So Tommy's going to start off with a demo for us today.
So first, I'm going to walk us through how do we turn on the functionality to integrate our exception processes into the GRC part of the tool, the Policy and Compliance Management application. So if I come into my application menu here and go to Application Vulnerability Response, I'll go down to my exception management list item here, and we'll be brought to this exception configuration page. Using this, I can flip this over to say GRC Policy and Compliance Management. This will only show if you have this application installed, so you won't see this if you don't have policy and compliance installed. I'll select that and then click Save. You'll notice this is exactly the same as what you would do in the vulnerability response application, and also configuration and compliance now has the same configuration option to put them all to use GRC policy and compliance management. Now we'll take a look at what that looks like when we're actually requesting the exception. I'm going to come in here and open one of my penetration test findings. And we can see this is an open penetration test finding. I'll go in and request an exception. And now I'm brought to a slightly different pop-up based on the fact that I selected I wanted to use the policy and compliance exception management process. We can see I automatically have my vulnerability management policy selected. I can pick a valid until date. I'll pick 2 weeks out for now. We can pick a reason, and we'll enter some justification. Go ahead and submit that. And we can now see a policy exception record has actually been created. If I click on that, we can see that my policy exception record now exists and has been assigned over to the compliance managers team to route for approval. Dave, what are some of the benefits you could see of this versus just the old standard exception management process and vulnerability?
You know, I think the real benefit here is the consistency across managing application vulnerabilities, managing infrastructure vulnerabilities, as well as managing secure configurations, that now those can all be managed either through the vulnerability response module, so kind of in their own individual modules, or all connecting in through the policy exception management to really provide that standard consistent process across remediation and exception management for all of these products, because they really are all very similar in how the work is done. So having everything be able to operate the same way, I think is really the key benefit here.
Yeah, I agree. The consistency is great, and the opportunity to integrate your vulnerability processes directly in with your GRC processes are really going to remove a lot of manual communication that typically happens between those compliance teams and vulnerability management teams, and break down some of those silos so that you can really easily work together. Thanks for listening, and be sure to watch the other videos in our series. Check out Thirdera.com for more information on the security operations suite and the entire ServiceNow platform. If you have any more questions about Thirdera or vulnerability response, reach out to us using the information below.